You. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Hope everybody's feeling good. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody feeling? Let's get it. Let's get it. What the business is, rep your city. You know, we want to know what kind of business you have, how you help other people. Like that's really, really important to us. We this is like you can get free promotion right now. How's everybody feeling? What the business is? Give me a replay, gang, if you're watching a replay. I want to invite you right now to subscribe to Millionaire Minded, the Millionaire Minded newsletter. I don't know how many of you know, but it's called Entrepreneurishment. It's called Entrepreneurishment. Did you guys know that? We have a newsletter that comes out every single week. That's also the name of our Facebook group. There we go. Yeah, that's also the name of our Facebook group. I hope everybody's feeling awesome this morning. Have you already subscribed to the newsletter? If you have, let me see I have in the comments. I have. If you have subscribed to the newsletter already, somebody say I have. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Somebody say I have. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Have y'all joined the newsletter already? Yeah, okay then. Let's go. All right now. All right, let's go. Yeah. Okay. How y'all feeling the newsletter? Everybody loving that joint? We put a lot of work into that thing. I hope somebody reading it. No, I see the open rates. Y'all be going crazy with that newsletter. Y'all be sharing it with people. We know. Make sure that you join the newsletter. It's called Entrepreneurishment. That's also the name of our Facebook group, Entrepreneurishment. All we want to do is help you go further, faster, with less effort. And what I believe, right, is that too many people kind of succumb to this mistaken belief that being likable comes from these natural, unteachable traits that belong only to a lucky few. You get what I mean? The good looking, the fiercely social, those summer personalities, right? The incredibly talented, right? Maybe only socializers, they got this natural charisma. It's real easy to fall prey to that misconception, right? But check this out. Being likable is under your control. Can somebody type that out and then give me a share? Being likable is under your control. It is, y'all. Being likable is under your control. Can somebody type that out? That's an important concept this morning. Being likable is under your control. It's all a matter of emotional intelligence. Somebody say being likable is under your control. Being likable is under your control. Can somebody give me that? Being likable is actually under your control. I ain't lying. Being likable is something that you can kind of toy with a little something. They did this study at UCLA, I believe it was, right? Where they rated like 500 descriptions of people that was based on their kind of like perceived significance to likability, right? They took these 500 descriptions and they looked at them. And then the top rated descriptors had nothing to do with being intelligent or attractive or magnanimous, right? These innate characteristics. Instead, a lot of the top descriptors that people said were likable was stuff like sincerity, transparency, capacity to understand somebody else. These are the kinds of adjectives that describe people who are skilled in emotional intelligence, in the social side of emotional intelligence. Research data from over 1 million people, y'all, shows that people that possess these traits aren't just highly likable, they outperform the people that don't by a super high margin. Likability is so powerful, y'all, that it can completely alter your performance. I want you to think about that for a minute. How many people do you know that are really likable and then you know, auditors, right, for the IRS, etc. They found that people were willing to accept an auditor's argument with no supporting evidence if he was likable. Think about that. Just 1 in 2,000 unlikable leaders are considered effective. Think about that. So what we're talking about this morning is, in a nutshell, getting us ready for the Kaizen Academy this weekend. We're talking about some of these unconscious behaviors that kind of make you likable or hold people back when it comes to being likable. I just want to make sure that these behaviors don't catch you by surprise. I want you to jot these things down in your power book, and I want you to ask yourself in a moment of sincerity, yo, do I do that? How often do I do that? You with me? You with me? All right, so here's the first one. Hey, appreciate that, Chelsea. Appreciate that. Somebody ready? Y'all ready? Somebody say being likable is under your control, and then give me a share. Being likable is under your control, and then give me a share. Let's get it. Being likable is under your control. All right, here's the first one. Humble bragging. Humble bragging. Very emotionally unintelligent. We all know people who like to brag about themselves behind the mask of self-deprecation. Like this lady who's making fun of herself for being a nerd when really she wants to draw attention to the fact she's smart. Y'all know what I'm saying? The humble brag. The guy who makes fun of himself for having a strict diet when really he wants you to know how healthy he is. Y'all know what I'm talking about? A lot of people feel like self-deprecation masks their bragging, but everybody sees right through it. This makes the bragging all the more annoying. Some would even say frustrating, because it isn't just bragging, it's an attempt to deceive. Cut it out. Cut it out. If you're the one doing all the humble bragging, it's making you unlikable. Here's the second one. Being too serious. Being too serious. Write that one down. Being too serious. Come on, somebody say being likable is under your control. And then if you agree with that, like this, share this. You know, Facebook is going to show it to more people if you heart that thing. That's how you help us spread goodness and positivity throughout the world. Here's the second one. Being too serious, y'all. Being too serious. Now, people gravitate towards people that are passionate, right? But with that said, it's kind of easy for passionate people to come across as too serious, right? It's easy for passionate people to come across as uninterested because they tend to get absorbed in their work. Well, what likable people do is they balance their passion for their work with their ability to have fun, right? At work, they're serious, yet friendly, right? They still get things done because they're socially effective in short amounts of time instead of spending a whole day chattering, right? Spending a whole day fellowshipping and all of that. They're socially effective in these short amounts of time, and then they capitalize on valuable social moments. They focus on having meaningful interactions with their coworkers, remembering what people said to them yesterday, remembering what people said to them last week. And that shows people they're just as important to them as their work is. You got me? Here's the third one. This is another way to be unlikable. Not asking enough questions. Not asking enough questions. Is this making sense? Somebody say being likable is under your control. Being likable is under your control. Here's the third one I got for you. Not asking enough questions. One of the biggest mistakes that people make in conversation is being so focused on what they're going to say next or how what the person is saying is going to affect them that they fail to hear what's being said. Oh, the words might come through loud and clear, but the meaning is completely lost. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? A simple way to avoid this is ask a lot of questions, y'all. People like to know you're listening. And when you ask something as simple as a clarification question, it shows you're not only listening, but you care to understand the message. You'll be surprised how much respect you gain, how much appreciation you garner just by asking questions. Somebody say, I'm going to ask more questions, and then give me a share. Being likable is under your control. Being likable is under your control. Here's number 4, what they call emotional hijackings, another term from therapy. You know, this whole week we've had this filling wheel up here because we're getting ready for Kaizen Academy this weekend, this whole class on emotional intelligence. I dare you to decide EQ is worth you cultivating. Emotional hijackings. Right? Somebody say, being likable is under my control. Being likable is under my control. Emotional hijackings is kind of wild. You know, I don't know if you know how many times when you're in HR or when you're in personal development or when you're a coach or when you're a therapist, you come across all these instances of people throwing things and screaming and making people cry. All these other telltale signs of what's called emotional hijacking. And emotional hijacking is always going to demonstrate a low level of emotional intelligence. Because as soon as you show that level of instability, people are going to kind of question whether you're trustworthy or not. People are going to kind of question whether you're capable of keeping it together when it all counts. Are you really? We start to lose faith in you, right? Because you out here tripping, exploding at anybody, regardless of how much they might deserve it. Is a red flag, man. It starts to turn a lot of negative attention your way. You're going to be labeled as unstable. You're going to be labeled as unapproachable. You're going to be labeled as intimidating. Am I making sense? Controlling your emotions, though, means you won. Whenever you lose your emotions, it means you lost. Controlling your emotions keeps you in the driver's seat. When you're able to control your emotions around somebody who wrongs you, they end up looking bad instead of you. Here's number 5. Y'all with me? Here's number 5. Here's number 5. Somebody say, likability is under my control. Likability is under my control. Here's number 5. Whipping out your phone. Whipping out your phone. Nothing turns somebody off to you mid-conversation than you looking at a text message, right? Even if you just do a quick glance at your phone, when you commit to a conversation, focus all your energy on that conversation. You're going to find the conversations are more enjoyable. You're going to find the conversations are more effective when you immerse yourself in them. Here's number 6, name dropping. Man, I had a homegirl that was notorious for this. And it's like she's the only one that didn't notice she did it. She would constantly drop names of different celebrities, right? It's great to know interesting people. It's great to know people that you consider to be important, even if I don't consider them all that much so, right? But using every conversation as an opportunity to name drop is pretentious. It's just silly. Just like humble bragging, people see right through it. Instead of making you look interesting, what it's doing is making you look insecure. It's making you look overly concerned with how other people view you. It seems like you're desperate for people to like you. It also cheapens what you have to offer. When you connect everything you know with who you know instead of what you know or what you think, I don't know. It's like the conversation starts to lose its color because you keep making the subject of everything somebody that ain't even around, that we'll never met, that we barely even know. People are averse to those who are desperate for attention. I don't know what it is about validation. We get more of it the less desperate for it we are. You ever notice that? We get more of it the less pressed we are about it. Simply being friendly and considerate is all you need to win people over. That's how you win friends and influence people, right? You're friendly, you're considerate. And when you speak in a friendly, confident, concise manner, people are way more attentive to you, right? They're way more persuadable than if you try to show them you're important. People catch on to your attitude quickly and are more attracted to the right attitude than you can even imagine. Somebody say likability is under my control. Here's number 7, y'all. Gossiping. 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 Listen to me. I know you've heard this before, but I'm going to give it to you because some of y'all done forgot. Most everybody on the planet knows if they'll gossip with you, they'll gossip about you. Can somebody write that out for me? If they gossip with you, they'll gossip about you. If they gossip with you, they'll gossip about you. People make themselves look terrible when they get carried away with gossiping. Wallowing in the talk of other people's misdeeds, other people's misfortunes, you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, right? I got another lesson the other day. It wasn't really gossiping, but we were on a Zoom and I thought that the Zoom was cut off. I thought that they had left. So I started being a little free with my speech, a little free with how I felt about this particular vendor. And they were there the whole time. They had just cut off the camera and put it on mute. So the Zoom wasn't showing him. It wasn't until we noticed the participants at the bottom. It was like, I'm glad I could stand on everything I said. I was being a little bit harsh. But what does that teach us? Yo, if you wouldn't want to say it to their face, then don't say it when they're not around, right? It's going to hurt their feelings if it ever finds their way to them. And when they cut that thing back on, when they cut that Zoom back on, it was turned up. Like the energy felt a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? In some ways it was good, but in some ways it was kind of bad. Here's one thing I know for sure. Gossiping is guaranteed to make you look negative and spiteful even every time. Here's number 8, having a closed mind. Having a closed mind, right? If you want to be likable, you got to be open-minded. Being open-minded makes you approachable. It makes you interesting to other people. Nobody wants to have a conversation with somebody with an already formed opinion, right? Somebody who's unwilling to listen to anything. Having an open mind is so crucial in the workplace. It's so crucial in your personal relationships. But right now, since we're talking about entrepreneurship, I just want to remind you, when you're trying to get things done, you're going to need these people around you. So being approachable means you got access to new ideas. Being approachable means you got access to people's assistance. Do you get me? To eliminate preconceived notions, to eliminate judgment, you need to see the world through other people's eyes. Otherwise, you ain't going to be able to help it. You're going to judge people. This don't require you believe what they believe. This don't require you condone behavior you ain't with. It simply means you quit passing judgment long enough to freaking understand what makes them tick. Somebody say being likable is under my control, and then give me a share. Being likable is under my control, and then give me a share. Yeah, having a closed mind will mess you up. Here's number 10. Here's number 9. Sharing too much too early. Sharing too much too early. Getting to know people does require a healthy amount of sharing, right? But sharing too much about yourself right off the bat comes across wrong. Be careful, y'all. Be careful with sharing personal problems and sharing confessions a little too quickly. Likable people let the other person kind of guide them as to when it's the right time to start sharing, when you should start opening up. Because oversharing comes off like you're self-absorbed, like you're self-obsessed, like you're insensitive to the balance of the conversation. Think about it this way. If you're getting into the nitty-gritty of your life without learning about the other person first, you're sending a message to them that you see them as nothing more than a sounding board for your problems. You ain't really into me. You just need somewhere to vent. You could really care if I'm alive or not right now. You haven't even checked on me. You've been talking like 20 minutes straight. I don't know how you're breathing that. Like, what are you breathing through your nose while you talk? It's like, we don't know, because you're just nonstop with it. Somebody said being likable is in my control. Being likable is in my control. Pause for the cause every now and then, y'all. Come on. All right. And then number 10 is sharing too much on social media. I believe the ladies are probably like more guilty of this than the fellas sometimes. Sharing too much on social media, right? Y'all get into it with somebody and then y'all start posting pictures and y'all be like, No matter what some people say, I am beautiful and all of that. And I get what you're doing, but we all know what's going on. We all understand that you're snitching on your boyfriend. You got me? You're sharing too much, man. Studies have shown that people who overshare on social media, they do it because what they're looking for is acceptance, right? But what they've discovered, study after study, is that oversharing works against them by making people dislike them. Y'all with me? Yeah, Shiz, you know what I'm talking about. When people tell you that you're not beautiful, sometimes you just need to post a picture half naked so that way you can feel valid. It's like, get out of here. You know? All we're saying is that, yeah, you want to be transparent. And as a matter of fact, when you're transparent with somebody, then transparency kind of like all of a sudden is something that that we feel inclined to be more transparent when you're more transparent with us. That's a rule. That's a rule. But while that's an important form of expression, social media and all of that, it needs to be done thoughtfully. It needs to be done with a little bit of self-control, right? Letting everybody know what you ate for breakfast, what you ate for lunch, what you ate for dinner, how many times you walked your dog. I don't know. What you know, in your girlfriend's bedroom issues are, I don't know if we want to know, man. Right? Yeah. Yeah, them joints right there. Until they do right by me, everything they do gonna fail. You know? All right. All I'm saying here this morning is when you start to build your awareness of how your actions are received by other people, you're going to pave the way to being more likable. I want to challenge you to join the Kaizen Academy. This weekend's class is all about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. We're going to do a real deep dive. So inbox me if you want a link to the Kaizen Academy. I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit. How helpful was this? Scale of 1 to 10. Are you going to use this? Scale of 1 to 10. You're going to use this? You're going to use this? 10 means you're definitely going to use something you learned here today. Maybe you spotted a behavior. If you want bonus points, maybe you share with all of us which one of these 10 you're trying to work on in your own personality. Which one of these 10 emotionally unintelligent ways to roll are you kind of needing to work on? I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10? Which of these 10? Scale of 1 to 10, though. Was this helpful? Scale of 1 to 10. Was this helpful? All right, it's affirmation time, y'all. It's affirmation time. You can call in right now. You can call in right now. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, straight up, Savita. Yeah, Nicholas. You know what I'm saying? They be airing the laundry, bro. What's going on? Chelsea know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you don't do that, Chelsea. Hopefully you don't do that. Yeah, I love the transparency. My man Bruce, like, I'm guilty. Yeah, we all trying to figure it out, dog. None of us is perfect, man. Okay, if you called this joint a 10, you need to join the Kaizen Academy. You're really going to enjoy this weekend's class. Yeah, Michelle. Kaizen Academy. Yeah, Morose. Yeah, Walter. Let's go. Okay, Savita says she's going to ask more questions in the conversation. I love that. Yeah, Renee. I love that. I love that. Good, good. Yeah, if you can work on all of them, you a beast. You crazy. Pastor Dandridge. Pastor Dandridge said, leave his food post alone. Good, 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 Renee. Yeah, good morning, millionaire. All right, y'all, it's affirmation time. Let's get it. If your phone line tries to charge you, just text call me to the same number. Let's go, let's go. If you called this joint a 10, please like the post. Please show the post some love so Facebook will spread it to more people. When you like it, then it shows Facebook that we ain't laming out or ain't somebody making you be here. You know what I mean? That's why you got to like the post. It's dozens of y'all here, and this joint only got like a couple likes. Anyway, All right, repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, a lot of y'all seem to settle on that, not asking enough questions. Daryl said the same thing. David said the same thing. I love that. Put it in the comments, y'all, which one you're going to utilize a lot more. Yeah, appreciate that, Savita. Thanks a lot, Queen. All right, let's go. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it. Here we go. I am so happy and grateful